Coming to you live from Geekly Studios in DeSoto, Texas. Sports Studios in DeSoto, Texas. King David Reeves and the MentorConnector podcast present another mentor moment. Great day, great mentors. Rise and grind, it's time to shine. Welcome to another special episode of the MentorConnector podcast here on the Geek Leads Esports Masterclass. I'm your host, King David Reeves, and I have a very special boss woman, mompreneur with me here today. Matter of fact, this young lady is let me make sure I say it right, luxury esthetician and artist. On top of that, she's a choreographer, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how you balance both, but that's not for me to answer. That's why I brought her here for you today. Because on top of that, if that wasn't enough to be on top of, she is a full-time mom. All right? A real mom, which I happen to have a wife who shows me what that looks like. I'm trying to do my best job as dad, but it's still nothing compared to being the mama role. So to be that and a boss at the same time with all the other things she has going on, hats off to her. I got my hat off. She has hers on, but that's because she looks fly in it, ladies and gentlemen. And without further ado, y'all please help me welcome to the show none other than Miss Haley Carter, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are you doing,
I'm
Haley?
good, David. How are you doing?
I cannot complain. I'm excited that you're here with us because I know so many young people in general, but especially young ladies that I mentor who I can't wait to connect you to. And this will be that first introduction because I know they're going to watch this because so many of them want to do what you do on both the esthetician front and the choreography, being in music video or choreographing the actual dancing for the video and the show. So I see you doing all this, but there's so much I'm like, let me just sit her down and let her share her story and explain to the people how she even got into doing what she's doing and what it is that she actually does. So you can start with who you are, where you're from, Miss Haley.
Okay, so my name is Haley Carter. I am born and raised right here in Dallas, Texas.
Shout out Triple D.
Where it all began, I will say that I am a graduate of Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing Visual Arts.
All right now.
2008 as a dance major.
And that's you and Miss Badu, if I'm correct.
Yes, it is. We got Nora Jones, we got Erykah Badu, we got a whole lot.
Oh, I know y'all doing that big.
That big.
And now they have Haley Carter. Okay.
And now, let's go ahead and say that out. It's me. They got me too. But I was dancing long before then. But Booker T is kind of where my passion for dance heightened. After that, I went off to college at Abilene Christian University.
Nice.
Moved back.
Shout out Lean Town.
Oh, yeah. That was a connect
Abilene.
for us, too.
Yeah.
Were you stationed in Abilene?
Yeah. Shout out Dice Air Force Base.
Thank you for your service.
Air Force career. My pleasure.
So we kind of missed each other, but we were in Abilene at the same time.
Yeah. Shout out Lucky's. Was it Beauty Supply, hair salon?
Yes, Lucky's Beauty Supply with Lloyd and Miss Chong. I love you guys so much.
Yeah, they had the good bootlegs, boy.
Oh.
For the low. We can't talk about that on camera, but just so y'all know.
Sorry.
You'll find Lucky's. Just don't stay in there after certain hours now.
It's crazy. Yes. And after graduating from ACU with my degree in business management, I then moved back home. And then I worked for Elevate Medical Spa as the operations manager for that. And that's kind of where my love for aesthetics evolved. So as a dancer, I've always had problematic skin.
Okay, so you graduated from Abilene Christian and moved back home to Dallas. And you were born and raised here?
Born and raised here in Dallas.
Okay, so backtrack just a little bit. I want to know what you grew up doing for our younger audience to kind of get an idea of the type of person, type of girl you were growing up. Were you always into hair, makeup, lashes? Were you always into dancing? How did you find that this was your passion? What happened in your childhood to steer you in that direction?
I was raised with two older brothers, Daniel, Jason. Love you guys, but they were like the mecca of sports. If you
Wait,
came through
Daniel and
Cedar Hill,
Jason,
yeah.
like the like ain't they like twin
Oh,
hoopers?
the Horton boys, yes. Daniel
Horton?
Horton and Jason Horton.
What? I didn't know they were your brothers. I
Oh
thought you
yeah,
were saying
no.
it like that.
Like we were
They're
homies?
my brothers. We real close. We
No, those are
practically
my
family.
no, those are my brothers. So I
Wow.
always kind of grew up in the
Shout out
household of
Cedar Hill.
sports, and that was like the thing. Like you had to either play volleyball or play basketball.
Yeah.
So I went to Permitter, and I did. My dad also, Coach Carter, the best guy in the world. My dad, he's also a Lincoln tie. So basketball and sports has
Yeah.
always been in my family. And I was really good at volleyball. I was
Shout
great
out to
at
all
the
the Cedar
shot
Hill
put.
alum out there. You know.
Huh?
Shout out to all the Cedar Hill alumni.
Oh yeah,
out
Cedar
there.
Hill alum. So
Appreciate y'all.
sports was always in my household.
Right. You couldn't run from it, basically.
I couldn't, literally.
No pun intended.
Ah, I see what you did there. But I just knew that it was never my thing. Like,
Right.
I loved it. I loved going to football games. I loved the competitive nature of it. But sports was really never, like, that was never my passion.
Oh, trust and believe I can relate. That's why I do
Right?
this. Because I especially for minority boys, minorities in general, but especially minority boys growing up, you get pushed in that direction to where
Exactly.
you're almost not masculine enough if you aren't excelling in sports and using your brain and especially in the black community over your bronze is not it was frowned upon basically. And so that's almost how you communicate and assert your masculinity over others by whether or not you can hoop or you can throw and catch the
Oh, a
football.
tracker,
Yep,
yeah.
you can't run fast. What are you doing? You making good grades? Who cares? Your parents care, the teachers care, but we don't care. We beat you up. So I can understand that.
And that just wasn't my thing. So
Yeah,
it wasn't until
same.
7th grade that I got to dance for the Oak Cliff Redskins, Pop Warner dance team.
Okay. Oh, man, you just hit
Yeah.
all the Oak Cliff
So-
Redskins. Wait. That's one of my mentor team. Hold up, Bobby.
Is it really?
Castleberry, Coach Castleberry.
Back then it
You
was
might-
Coach
you-
Cynthia
Okay, so
Jackson.
you had, but that's for the cheerleaders,
The dance,
right?
no, the dance
Dance team.
section. Yeah.
Got you. So you don't remember the coach's name out there?
Other
you-
than Coach Cynthia, unfortunately I don't.
Okay.
That was back in 2003.
Shout out Bobby Castleberry. I'm
2002.
pretty certain this is the same team because he's been
Oh, it
coaching
has
them
to
for some decades now. Oak Cliff Redskins, and I remember.
Oh yeah.
That's
And
a-
that's kind of where my love for dancing began. Of course, as a child, I was at Dallas Black. I did the ballet, the jazz, the tap, all that kind of stuff. But it was another one of those
did
things
you-
as a little girl. You just
Did you
kind
say
of,
of course?
huh?
Did
Did I
you
what?
say of course? You said of course, right?
Of course.
Yeah, like as a child, like everybody just does.
Every girl has to
Dallas
dance.
Black.
And my daughter will too, whether she likes it or not.
That's beautiful.
No questions asked.
See, not everybody grows up in this. Just like not everybody grows up in a competitive athletic
Family?
household.
Oh, I
so
didn't have a choice.
so I want you to understand how much of a blessing that is in and of
For me,
itself.
oh, for sure. I never take that for granted.
But it's like, man, that exposure, I can only imagine what that did to you as a child. Like 7th and 8th grade, you're dancing. Isn't that like theater, like actual theaters, like amongst professional dancers?
Oh no,
and
we
whatnot?
were in Lowe's Theater because we won there. Then we went all the way to Florida and got
Wow.
to perform at the national level. And might I add, we got first place, national
Wow.
championships,
What grade
first
were you
ever. I was in the 8th grade at this time. I started dancing with them
Man.
in 7th grade, and then by 8th grade, we were national champs. If I'm not mistaken,
That's
that was
crazy.
the first year the dance team ever got first place national. That's national.
Wow.
That's not Dallas. That's not Texas. That's not Southern Sector. That's national. We were up against girls from all over.
Wow.
So being
shout
on
out,
that
shout out to your
field-
coach.
Yeah, Coach
because that's-
Cynthia. Coach Cynthia Jackson.
Man.
She's the realest.
So that was probably one of your first true mentors, then, Coach
Right.
Cynthia.
For
'Cause
sure. And
that's
even-
that's literally life changing because now you're not just like you just said. And that's not just Dallas. Like it shifted your whole perspective from I'm competing citywide or locally
Mm-hmm.
to now shoot. I've already competed with people in other states, like girls from other states, and won. So what are
Right.
we talking? So fast forward to like a college application process. Like, what do you mean? I can apply anywhere out of state I want. I've already beat a lot of
The
competition in
odds.
this. So wow. Okay, so backtrack. So first place, national level dance.
Yes. So that's kind
Okay.
of where it all began. That's where I figured, well, one, I love to dance because that's where I got my confidence from.
Yeah.
Like I said, sports, not my thing. I was good at it. I was on varsity, even in high school, playing for Lincoln.
So you kind
But
of
I never
natural.
really felt confident. I never really felt like myself when I was,
Yeah.
while I was playing sports. But the
Same.
moment, like, I was able to perform and the moment I was able to dance, the moment I was able to be on that stage,
It clicked.
that's when I found out, okay, Haley, that's your thing. That's who you are, and that's what you love, and that's what you're good at. And so, of
That's
course,
real.
from then on out, that's what I stuck with. So, backing up and
I
speeding
feel it.
forward, I did Pop Warner, 8th grade, and then I was introduced to Consuela. She was also a dancer, and she said, Haley, you're actually really good, so why don't you audition for Booker T? And I
So
was
she
thinking,
was. This is not a coach. This was like sounds like a
no,
student, a
this is
peer.
somebody that a part of a summer camp that I went to and worked at called Circle of Support. Shout out to all of my Circle of Support family. It's like a 20-year-old summer camp, and it's doing great things in the community. So
Nice.
another place where I got
Circle
to
of
learn about mentors.
Oh,
and
circle of
being-
support. Talking about girl. Oh, my girl.
Oh.
Shout out Bernadette.
Oh yes, my
Bernadette
godmother
Nuttall.
Bernadette Nuttall. I love you. I
Just
love you.
saw
And my
her.
mom and Miss Robinson, Miss Diane Robinson, they
Yeah.
were kind of like the founding mothers of that organization.
Doing a great
And that's
job.
where
So I just
I
saw her at Lincoln, their drop-by graduation last week, and it's beautiful. Had to give her a hug, even though COVID-19 and everything. We had to hug each other. So sorry. Forget all the. We'll go comply later.
Right. For
After
today
this
we will.
hug.
And that's where I met Miss Consuela, and she told me to audition for Booker T. And I think I had a month to prepare. And again, Booker T is very competitive because
Oh
it's
yeah.
dancers from pretty much all over the DFW
Everywhere.
area. They travel from South Lake, Fort Worth, anywhere.
Yeah, and
And so
people
she said,
will
Haley, you
move
have
to
a month.
DFW for the
Right.
opportunity to for the
Exactly.
student,
For
their
their
child to
school.
attend that
Pretty
school.
much. And so she said, you have a month to prepare, and what can you do? And I was like, you know what? We just won nationals during this routine. I got the consent from Miss Coach Cynthia, and I did that same piece from my audition, and I got in. And I think it was by the grace of God because I was
Nothing
nervous.
but.
I hadn't been dancing very long. I had a month to prepare. But, when it's meant, it's meant. And I believe in that. I believe that God specifically placed me at Booker T because that was just part of his plan for my life. And I don't take that for
You
granted.
lying that.
It is what it is. Yeah.
That's for
And
sure.
so,
And so that's
did that.
another one of those nationally recognized opportunities. Just attending the school, let alone performing and doing well there at Booker T. So you just kind of had a one after another. So I mean you
oh,
didn't.
favor.
So yeah, I mean your brothers were out here.
I had to live up to that reputation. You
They
understand?
they were leading us to like the first time.
Championships and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, we would hit holding championship titles at Cedar Hill. So yeah, you had to come strong, and
I had to,
I
and
see
whatever
that
I
you
did, I had to come with it.
yeah,
If it was
seriously.
pouring water, I had to be the best at
Man.
it.
Yeah. Every
Right.
jug.
Oh yeah. So Booker T was great. Did
Hey,
that.
Joseph
and
Thomas
that's-
watching, by the way. Shout out Joseph
Huh?
Thomas, JT. Your boy Joseph Thomas is watching, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Lincoln
We just
alone,
talked
shout out.
yesterday. Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
And so after Booker T, that's when I went to Abilene, and
Okay.
that's another kind of.
And so
God
you got a
thing.
scholarship from
I did.
Abilene? I mean,
I
from
got a
Booker T to
scholarship.
Abilene, I guess.
Well, I got a scholarship from the performing art. He's basically the performing arts donor there, Mr. Williams. He's the one that built the entire performing arts center at ACU.
Goodness gracious.
He gave me a scholarship to go to ACU, which is ironic because ACU is a Church of Christ school, which means they don't dance and they don't play instruments.
Ah.
So for me to even be in that dynamic was like, what are you doing
Another
there?
divine
But
intervention moment.
God will find a way out of no
Out of
way.
no
And so not only
Absolutely.
was I there, but I got to be the hip hop director of a really prominent dance studio out there, Dance Discovery Studios.
Nice.
I was on the Rough Riders football dance team, the indoor mini league.
Yeah.
I was there as one of their dancers.
I remember them.
So I mean, I found a way to continue dancing, but it is what it is. You have to just kind of make a way out of it. And so That
did
was
your
my little
thing,
stint in Abilene.
and all this while studying business management.
Oh yeah, at
So it's like
ACU
you
of all
you're
places.
Abilene. No, I'm not gonna do it.
No, that's right, Abilene, Texas.
There's nothing else
Abilene,
there.
Texas.
You find a lot of time to get to know yourself in the Lord, because there's not much else to do. But they say in Abilene on the weekends, the only thing there's to do is go to Dallas.
Pretty
So,
much. That was
but
what we
learned
did.
a lot of great people in Abilene. Definitely not talking down, because definitely have a lot of people still I consider family to this day, to reach out to, and who live here now as well. So
Oh yeah.
shout out
They're moving out
Abilene.
here.
So you just one thing after another, because you were running companies out there, essentially, I say like dance companies, but team being a part of Rough Riders, that's a big deal as well. But then to be business management, you're literally learning how to run a business at the same time as practicing running businesses, and then still holding, doing like a typical college student, still holding down the job at Lucky's. Shout out.
3 jobs. I worked at the gas station.
Oh.
I taught literally. No, listen. I worked at
Goodness.
Lucky's. I had to. I worked at a car wash at some point. But what I really
Sure.
enjoyed, another mentor kind of moment, I was
Yeah.
a youth resident at one of the
Talking about-
local elementary schools out there, and I taught dance
Wow.
twice a week. Again, that's where my love
Wow.
for dance, my love for youth, my love for teaching, my love for
Combined.
mentoring, all of
And
that kind of
business all
began at an
combined.
early age. And
And-
so
and
it was just really
and we have
natural for me
the,
to get thrown into that.
Man, we have the president of the Black Chamber of Commerce tuning in, and as well
Oh,
as
hello.
the board chairman for the Texas Workforce. So we got some business people watching right now. So thank y'all for tuning in, Brother
Thank you
Harrison
guys for
Blair
tuning in.
and Lori. Man, and you talking big business right now,
A little bit, yeah.
and connecting with mentorship, connecting with dancing, all your passions aligning, and this was it just? I mean, it sounds like you're putting in a lot of work. So this wasn't no happenstance. Like some people
Oh,
think you
no.
may just fall into business ownership and just this is a good idea. What if I start a business and it just happens overnight? It
A lot
sounds
of planning, a lot of learning, a lot that goes into it.
like a lot of grinding and a lot of working for other people where you
Oh
were,
yeah,
you were
and
learning
that's the
from
best. That's
what
the
they were
best
doing.
learning lesson is working for others. I will die a learner if I can learn
Absolutely.
how to fold a shirt, how to clean a mirror, how to run some books. If I can learn till the day I die, my life was not in vain. That's a big part about being a business owner is learning and leading and learning.
Absolutely, and
all
that's
in
what
the
it's supposed
same.
to be. As Zach was supposed to be. And you said Bruce Lee said the only true master is always but yet a student first. And you never stop learning. Warren Buffett still reads 4 to 6 hours a day. He's always trying to learn something. And yeah, exactly. Well, when you have mega billions, you would think that's why, but really it's because of the reading is why you have
Exactly.
because Bill Gates, Mark Cuban, and Steve Jobs, when he was alive, also do the same thing, 3 to 6 hours a day of reading. Oprah as well. So just so if y'all want to know the secrets, because that's Haley's dropping some jewels on you, and she's showing you that you kind of have to grind your way up to being a business owner, but it's preparing you for owning your own business. Because from some of my experience, which I don't have as much as you when it comes to entrepreneurship, and for some of mine, I'm seeing that, and I've heard people say you work even harder when you own your own business.
Oh my
you own your own
goodness.
company.
It's
You
when
would think you
work for
don't
some-
have your own boss, but then
It's
then
the
your
opposite.
customers are your boss now.
Quite the contrary. When you own your own business, there is no 9 to 5 clock in, clock out. Like I'm responding to messages at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting notifications at 12 o'clock
Wow.
at night. I'm waking up at 6 trying to plan my day and figure out what to post. I mean, you are a 24/7 employee of your own, of course, but 24/7. Like I commend
It's a great way
people
to put it.
who can clock in and clock out and be done with it. Like there is no leave your work at home. My work comes with me. My
It's
work
everywhere.
travels with me in the car till
Yeah.
I get home, and then I have to work some more. So, being a business owner, it's great. There are obviously a lot of benefits and perks that come with it, but
Right.
it's a total lifestyle shift. You know, you have to really change your entire work ethic, your mind frame, everything that you've thought about in
Mental-
learning how to work for others. Throw that out the door because it's a totally different environment,
Whole nother
mentally,
ball game.
physically, all of the above.
Yeah, and
Oh,
see,
yeah.
and people, the misconception is always the glitz and glamour that you see people putting out there, whether it be the social media or just in general. They show you the successes and the wins in business, but nobody shows you the countless hours of struggle and
Heard.
failure, and you have to keep failing forward, as Will Smith said. And it's not easy,
But it's so worth
but
it.
yeah, exactly. It's so worth
Not
it.
easy, but it's
simple.
so worth it.
It's simple because you grind, you work hard, you keep the faith, you keep failing forward, you're going to get to your ultimate goals, but it's not easy to do it. That's why not everyone can do it.
Exactly. Not everybody's built for this one.
No, not at all. But however, you see now more than ever, everybody's an entrepreneur. Or like you say, a wantrepreneur.
Oh,
So you got everybody's a business owner
thanks to
these
COVID,
days.
thanks to Corona, everybody wants to own a business, and I
every-
wish you the
everybody's-
best.
it's a great idea.
And I hope
Absolutely.
I hope that you succeed in that endeavor. But just make sure that your mind is right when you do it, because it's not as easy like you said as people make it seem when they get look.
And make it look absolutely not. And what is your actual business? Because I know you graduated from ACU and kind of started back here. Is that when you attended Ogle? Because I see them
Did.
everywhere.
I'm an Ogle alum, yeah.
Shout out
Ogle
Ogle.
55. I was the salutatorian for our year.
Nice.
So
And
I
that's
mean,
a
it's in
reputable
you.
school now.
Oh yeah.
Now, what? So for people who don't know Ogle, tell them what that school is all about and why
Ogle is a school for the professionals. They teach hair, they teach skin, and some of them teach nails. It's a national school as well, so you can go to Ogle in New York or New Mexico or whatever
wow.
the case may be.
That
oh yeah,
I
they
did
have.
not know.
I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah. And so it's an amazing school. They really take pride in their students, which is something that I really looked for as far as a school, because I didn't want to go to a school that was going to just teach me how to wash a face, or they actually teach you techniques, they teach you methods, the importance of ingredients,
good.
and on top of that, they again teach you how to be a businesswoman.
Yeah.
You have to schedule your own clients, you have to manage your tips, you have to clean the rooms, you have to order supplies. I mean, there is so much that goes into the preparation
A
for
lot
it.
of things you
And-
wouldn't even think of right off.
Yes, things that you would not even think about. Marketing yourself, having to go out and market for clients to come in to see you. So Ogle is a mini business, and they teach you the importance of every aspect of it, both in the treatment room and outside the treatment room. So any esthetician, anyone who's interested in skin, interested in makeup, interested in lashes, interested in doing hair, coloring, cutting, nails, I highly encourage you to go look into your local Ogle, wherever your location is. Because it's a great school. It's a great school, and I
Shout
learned
out.
a lot and built relationships. It's all in one. It was great.
Shout out to them, man. And see, and I know the local Ogle recruiter. We're gonna have to get some sponsorship off that. Y'all look for us. We're gonna put your logo up on the screen because she just did you a whole commercial.
Just that quick.
That's gonna do some numbers real quick.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that came out of nowhere. No corona, y'all. No
Wait a
corona.
minute. Wrap this up, guys. He's coughing.
Lights
Right.
said, I don't know where that came from. said, but so Ogle prepared you for what was your next move?
At that point, that's when I began luxury aesthetics and artistry. That is when
Gotcha.
I said,
That's what I
this
was
is what I want to do. This is what I love to do. So I'm going to capitalize on that. And that's where I began putting my love for artistry, which is the choreography, the casting, the dancing, the artist development, the artistic direction. I was able to combine that and put that with my love for aesthetics, and that's how I got the two. And to take a step back, it's not, and this is kind of why I fell in love with aesthetics. After I graduated, I went to work at a med spa, and my skin, like I said, because of years of performance and being a teenager and just being hormonal, I had really bad
rough.
acne. I had
Same here.
bumps, I
Same
had
here.
the
Oh, my
scarring,
goodness.
I had whatever you can think of, I had it, the blackheads, the congestion,
Yep.
and it was it really impacts your confidence, especially
Oh,
being
yeah.
on a
Makes you
stage and
very
being
insecure.
on videos.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
always
because you were in
worried
front of
about
a lot
that.
of people all the time.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I can
and makeup
imagine.
can only do
I
so
just-
much, you know.
It was bad for me just being a college student at A&M and then the Air Force. Like, I'm supposed to be a grown man leading troops. Like, and I'm worried about my acne. It was annoying. And I look back on pictures now, I'm like, man, my face hurts all over again remembering what that felt like. And just, I was so thankful when I found a few solutions. That's a whole nother tangent, though. But, so you had that they say a lot of times our greatest purpose comes from our greatest pain. And so I'm guessing if you're anything like my face was hurting, you were like, oh yeah, I got to figure out a way to solve this problem, not only for myself, but for everybody.
Others.
Share this once I learn, which is our responsibility. It's supposed to be, but not everybody does that. So
Right.
what made you want to do that? What really, truly
More
empowered you?
so my lack of confidence because of my acne.
Yep.
And then working in that environment, as the operations manager, you're just kind of supposed to have this image of great skin, physically great. And it was such an hindrance because they would look at me and say, well, you work here. Why does your skin look like that?
Ooh,
They wouldn't
ouch.
say that verbatim, but I
But
could
that
tell
look,
as they were looking
yeah.
at me. Right. And so at that point, I was like maybe like 6 months in, and I was like, listen, ladies, what can we do? And that's when I learned about treatments like microderms, like dermaplanes, like chemical peels.
Oh, wow.
That's when I learned about products like hydroquinone, retinol, a simple cleanser, all of those things. And I will say over the course of my 2 years after graduating and then beginning my own business, my skin took a total turn. And
Wow.
my little sister, Peyton, I love you, she
out,
also
Peyton.
had troubled skin.
She's on baby duty
And
currently.
yeah, she's
real
out there watching
MVP.
my daughter. She also had really troubled skin, and I was able to not only transform my skin, but I was able to use her as a guinea pig on African American skin to see what
Yeah.
really works. Because
So you're
it's
blessed to
one
be a
thing that
blessing.
you can change skin, but because our skin, not that it's so sensitive, but because our melanin is just so strong, a lot of people are scared to work on it. They don't want to do chemical peels. They don't want to do
Very
certain
true.
lasers. And because I understood that misconception, I had to go into it with that in mind, saying, what can I do on our African American skin to get results?
Yeah.
And so after practicing for 2 years, that's what I've done. I have so many clients that have come to me with acne, with rosacea, or with redness rather, acne
And is
scarring.
there an age limit on it? Because I know I used to
Oh, not at all.
care more about my skin when my acne was an issue, but now I get it here and there. But is
No,
there?
there's adult. I have adult acne now. I mean, you get adult
Yeah.
acne all the time. Every once in a
Same.
while, I'll get a bump here and there, but you will get acne from 13, 12, maybe even 10, all the way to your 105. I mean, acne is ongoing, but
Oh,
you can
wow.
definitely treat
That I
it
didn't
and
know.
or minimize it. And those are
Gotcha.
just things that I had to learn, throughout education and whatnot. But that's kind of where my love for skincare grew. And then
So
I know,
what
like I
do we
said,
what do we need? Someone like myself who
Uh-huh.
still battles with acne here and there. What like I heard all the terms like the microdermabrasion, I've all the other type of chemical peels and all that. But what do I actually need out of that whole lineup? Like, what advice would you give? Give us a secret real quick. Drop some
jewels
nuggets,
on
some
you.
jewels, some nuggets,
Some jewels, say hun. I will say it's kind of, and this is from ZO, Dr. ZO Abaji. I will say it's a matter of 5 serious products, and you're going to want to cleanse AM and PM.
Okay.
Exfoliating is key.
What I start doing.
You're going to want to tone, and you're going to want to put on your moisturizer and your SPF. Those are kind of the 5 keys of skincare, if you will. And then, of
taking
course, you
notes.
can always do your corrector. So your
I'm gonna have to
vitamin
rewatch
C,
this.
your retinols, you can do your HQs. But that's kind of the bulk of what you need as far as your skincare. So if you have adult acne or teenage acne, or if you have great skin, no matter your skin type, I encourage you to do those 5 things. You want to cleanse, exfoliate, tone, moisturize, and your protection, which is your SPF. Even, yes, if you're African American, we still have to wear sunscreen.
You can still get burned.
That's another misconception. You still get burnt. And then that's where those dark spots come from. Again, a whole other tangent, but long story short, if you don't want the dark spots, the hyperpigmentation, wear your sunscreen.
Okay.
I'll go into that at a later date.
Okay, and that'd
But,
be that'd be a separate master class because
Yes.
that's what I need to know because I'm like,
Yeah.
what do I even ask for with my acne issues?
When they
'Cause
flare
that-
up. Yeah, and a lot of
Right.
people think that you have to spend a lot of money on treatments and products, and that's not the case. I have purposely kind of made my prices a little lower, more competitive, for people that may not want to go spend $200 on a facial or $300 on a chemical peel. So that's why my market is who I'm targeting because of the misconception of it. And those products, you can get some really good products from Walmart. You can get some really good products from Target. You don't necessarily have to spend a whole lot of money to yield results, and that's another misconception of skincare.
Yep. Shout out Tarjay.
Yeah, Target, my grandmother's favorite place. But that's how I was able to kind of merge the two of luxury aesthetics, which is the skincare, lashes, and makeup, into the artistry. And I recently am about to start offering body contouring services, which I'm also really excited about. So I'll be able to do
Right
laser
now.
lipo, I'll be able to do contour capitation, I'll be able to do non-surgical L's. I'll be able to do the sauna detox blankets. So I'll be able to kind of service
So
you full body, which is
yeah, I was about to say
ultimately my goal.
this is about to be a full body service and skincare
Yes.
luxury
Yes. All of the above.
aesthetic.
All of the above. And it's so funny. I was
Artistry.
cleaning out my car
Wow.
maybe like a year ago, and my final project for one of my classes was to write a business plan. And my business plan was a wellness center. And it pretty much embodied
All the way.
the gist of what I'm doing right now.
360.
Of course, skincare, lashes, makeup. That's already what I'm doing. I'm also doing body stuff. That's what I'm doing. And then obviously the choreography, because of course I love to dance. So that's also part of it. And then it
Yes,
was
I
just
see. I
neat
see
to
your
that.
mission statement states, "My mission is to provide the latest in skincare, technology, and services, and the most innovative and creative concepts in choreography and artistic direction."
That's it. That's luxury aesthetics and artistry in a nutshell. And that's what I'm about to give the people. I give the people what they want.
Yeah,
Wanna look and feel
and
good.
need. Yeah,
And need.
because
And need.
a lot of times you can't afford what you want, even
I'm
though
trying
you
to make
need
it affordable.
But you're doing that, and it's still luxury. So we
Yes.
definitely appreciate your service to the greater good out here, all of humanity. I can tell
I bet.
business is booming because you're out here marketing up a storm and sharing on social media, which I love keeping up with. Just the clients you have, but then also when I see you out here on the scene, music video scene. I don't even know what the choreography scene basically,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I've seen that. Have you? Before we get into that, you did mention the full body contouring that you want to focus on. Have you had any setbacks in pursuing any aspect of that? Because it looks like it's just like one thing after another just keeps falling in place for you as you're doing lashes to makeup and then the artistry and the bam bam. Is it like, have you had to overcome any setbacks on this journey?
Oh, for sure. I've encountered a lot of setbacks. A lot of setbacks, both personally and professionally. Losing both of my grandparents, all four of my grandparents, really has been a
Oh, wow.
personal setback. And my grandparents are kind of like my supporting force. So
Yeah.
to lose them within other, and then it just so
was
things like
domino?
that personally
Wow.
really impact you. I also had a daughter. She's 8 months, and she is my pride and my joy. I do this for her. So I've had a lot of things that I've encountered, having to step away from working to be a mother and learn how to balance the two. And I've had a lot of business setbacks. Recently, I know, of course, I won't say any names and whatnot, but there was a situation with me and an artist that didn't go as planned. And so you have to kind of you have to calibrate yourself and figure
Yeah.
out who are you and what are you doing
Yeah.
and what is your motive, because people will figure this thing out and try to manipulate the situation, but you have to
Yeah.
know who you are as an individual and as a business owner.
Yeah,
And
so you're
then
not relying
more
on anyone else to
Oh, not at
define you
all.
or to
Not
get
at
you
all.
to the next level.
Or
It's
get you out
like,
of
nah.
character.
Absolutely.
And then recently I had a situation while I was in training where something was supposed to be promised to me, basically the machinery. And so that kind of fell through, which was really disheartening. I had built up a whole line of clients who were ready to come in same day to get some treatments done. And I will say that my lesson learned is, as a boss or as a business owner, it's easy to make things work when things are in your favor. But it's when things don't work out, and it's when things are kind of out of alignment with what you're wanting, that you can still manage to create something. That's how you know you're onto something. That's how you know you're good at what you do.
That's good.
So it's
when
unfortunate
you
that I
truly
had to
test it.
experience that, but I was able to, like I said, to recalibrate my business and my structure to say, okay, the machines aren't here right now, but what can I do in order to keep the momentum, keep the people wanting it? And so I just had to figure out some things, and then that also created a blessing, because now I have to find my own vendor. I have to go straight to the source versus relying on someone else to supply these machines for me. So I try to see the glass half full all the time. I try to find the silver lining.
Same.
And that was that. So it
And do you
just
think
taught me
that's
how
the
to
biggest-
dig deeper.
You think that's part of the biggest key is that focus on the glass being half full
Yeah,
and
for
staying
sure.
positive? Because I hear that
sure.
from a lot of successful entrepreneurs, that they have to be realistic, but you don't make it too far if you're pessimistic and you're thinking all the time.
Right. It's it'll discourage you. There have been so many times where I was like, God, I don't know if I should be doing this. I don't know. Hey, honey, I don't know if I should do this. And it was like no longer than maybe 10, 15 minutes. God was like, let me remind you, not who you are, but whose you are. So let's figure this thing
Yeah,
out.
first
You
and
know,
foremost.
for
And who built
yes,
you? What I created
yeah.
you for?
Like, what are
You
you
made
tripping
my
over?
image.
Yeah, I
You
put this.
talk
I
that.
made this happen. So calm down. I'm just
It's
trying to
like,
teach you
I
a
got that.
lesson. So
Exactly.
it's just it's
It's either a
bittersweet,
blessing or a
but
lesson.
when you overcome it and when you learn from it, it just makes you that much better of a person because it builds your character. It makes you a better business owner because it teaches you how to navigate and how to
Yes,
solve
ma'am.
problems. It teaches you how to be resourceful, figure things out on your own. And so I took it as a lesson learned. You know, as a business owner and as an individual and just in general, you're gonna have to figure out how to get through some things, you know, and that's where
Absolutely.
it builds your character. How do you handle it? How do you treat others in the midst of it? Because I always keep a smile on my face. You know, I'm never really going to badmouth somebody or talk down on anybody or make them feel like less of because of the circumstance, because that
Right.
just reflects on who you are as an individual. So there are a lot of lessons that I've learned over the course of my entrepreneurial journey. But for sure, building your character and learning how to navigate through certain situations is probably one of the biggest because they're going to happen and you can't fold up, you know. You just
That's a
can't. You
good way to
can't. You
put
have to
it.
tighten up and
That's
you
a
have to get the
fighting
job
term. That's a
done.
boxing term.
Yeah, you have to.
Because a
You
lot of people will
certainly
fold
do.
up and
Quick.
try
And
and
it's
quit
like,
and
that's how
hold
you
on
know
every
you
night
weren't
like
made for
no.
this.
You wasn't built
Yeah.
for it.
You
Not
weren't.
everybody
We're
built
going to see
for
a
it.
lot of people fold up once Corona's all done because they thought it was a good idea, but that first little trial hit them and it just
Took them out
makes
of
you want to
there.
reconsider.
Yeah. And so, what do you give credit to as your secret to continuing to persevere and move forward on your path towards success when those heavy punches come, when those knockout punches even hit
Yeah.
you, and you want to fold up, but you know you can't. Like, what is it that you will credit for not quitting?
I will say my belief in God. You know, I when I was young, I had to learn early on the concept of you can't pray and worry. And if
Ooh,
you're
I
gonna
got a quote.
pray, why worry? Which is one of my favorite songs from Marvin Sapp.
Yeah, and
And
if you're gonna
it's
worry,
already
why pray?
yeah, exactly. And so I can't. That's kind of been one of my big things. So knowing that God has already planned out everything, that whatever the devil tries to throw at me, He's already kind of mapped it out, and I have to experience it. I have to get through it. But even still,
Get the
I
lesson.
can get through it. And
Yeah.
that's kind of one thing. Learning who I am as a person. I've had to learn, I get anxious a lot. And what I've had to do is
So you're saying like you knowing your
assess.
weaknesses.
Right. No, you have to know yourself. It's like being in a marriage. You have to know who you are before you enter into this thing. What are your ticks? What are your triggers? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And my weaknesses are that I wear my heart on my sleeve. I am a giver. I don't. I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to certain things, and I've learned I have to assess. Like, A is bothering me, B is bothering me, C is bothering me. That's why I feel like this. Then I have to go in and attack A, get that out of the way. Then I have to go in and attack B, get that out of the way.
Yeah,
Attack C and get out of
and
the
I
way.
like how you're using the term attack, because if you don't
You got
attack it
to.
yourself, the enemy's going to attack you right at those
Yes.
weak points.
Heck
And I
yeah.
think a lot of us forget that the enemy's always paying attention. Our haters are
Yeah.
always watching. Everybody,
Always.
your competition is always ready to take you out of there.
With ease, if they can. And so I have to know who I am. And I will say my
Understand,
other
yeah,
motivation
ooze.
is my family.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
said,
I was
my
waiting on
daughter
that.
she's my why. My daughter is,
Absolutely.
I want to be able to give her the world.
Yep. I'm
Yeah.
with you right there. I'm
You know,
with you
she
right there.
stays with me. My daughter is my why.
Yeah,
I
it gets you
want
take you
to
to a whole
give her
nother
the-
level, because
Oh,
I
for
thought
sure.
I thought baby. I mean, they tell you babies are gonna slow you down. You're gonna miss out on a lot of sleep,
Oh,
and
no.
it's accurate to an extent. But then at the same time, you were preparing,
Full speed
especially
ahead.
you as a businesswoman. I know you can understand. Like you're setting this up as a legacy to pass down.
For my daughter, yeah.
Right. But
Whether she
then
wants to
when
be
you
in
can
aesthetics or
see-
not, she can have something. And that's another thing. My dad, I love you so much, Dad, and my mom. My dad, his
Shout out to you. Come
business,
from
he's
great
also an
stock.
entrepreneur and a nonprofit, Turner 12, with the youth and
Both
with
Dallas South
education, which is
connected.
huge. Yes, right outside of Lincoln and South Dallas. And while my passion is youth and education. That was not my specific path, but he used his business to propel and to kind of blossom mine. And that's what I want to do for my daughter. I want to create a foundation where if she says, "Mommy, I want to become a scientist," or "I want to become an astronaut," or whatever you want to do, Mommy has did the work that I can fund and support whatever it is for you. And that's another reason why I love my dad so much, because he's my dad and my mom, because they are my support. You know, I want to make them proud. My grandparents got to see a lot of me,
Your success,
but I wish I could have shown them more. You know, my little sister, she's watching everything that I do, and I want to be that for her and
like
show her
daughter.
that we can handle. Like, I got it. So let me lead you in how they kind of have led me. So my family is my everything. My daughter, of course, my mother, my father, my sister, just
you're making
to
them
be
proud.
That foundation.
You're making
Yeah,
them
I
very
want to
proud.
make them proud of me, and I feel like,
And you are. I just want you to know that.
I hope that I
definitely
am,
are.
and I hope that they're learning from my mistakes. But I hope that we're all going to win together, and I hope that we can all reap from what we've sown.
All raised up together.
It's that you have to figure out your why. You figure out your why, your who, and everything else will kind of make sense. That's why I get up. To make my family, my mother, my father, my sister proud, and
once you
to
know
make
your
sure
why,
that my daughter is solid.
and that's one of the most powerful whys, and that's the why that's going to fuel you when you have nothing left, no
Nothing
gas in the
left.
tank, can't or think you can't do it. Like it said, if you know your why, you can endure anyhow.
Anything, for sure.
And you're definitely doing that. So, again, once you know we're proud of you, I know your family's proud of you. Your daughter's looking up to you, and you're setting up a profound legacy for her, which is beautiful, as well as your sister and everyone else in your family. So it's just great to see it, especially from an outsider perspective, but then to hear your story of how you got to where you are, it makes it even more meaningful, because you didn't just take the cookie cutter path. You didn't just have an easy way in. You didn't just know this person or that person and rub some elbows to get in, which, I mean, that can be strategic as well. That can be hard fought as well and leverage, but you didn't get it handed to you.
Yeah.
So it makes it even more beautiful. And you do come from solid stock, man. Your parents are definitely, from what I've seen traveling around the outside D and working with education is freedom, especially just how we met. Just being able to interact. I've heard their names here and there before I knew they were your parents. So shout out to them, because they were doing the real work, and I definitely
laying the foundation for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And that Turner 12 doing some good work over there with the mentoring, and I definitely consider everything you're doing as a mentor moment and a lesson that these younger ladies, especially, but really younger men and women can take from what you have done and are continuing to do. So props to you. Salute to you, my sister.
Thank you.
Please keep growing, and don't forget about us little people as you do.
Of course not.
And on the flip side, speak on the choreography real quick. I don't want to hold you too much longer, but definitely want you to talk about the choreography side, because that's a whole nother. And it seems like it's a whole different ball game, but I can imagine a lot of what you do over here applying to what is needed for a music video or for any performance or for a tour.
Yeah.
So explain what you do over there and how you balance.
So the artistry aspect of it is everything from casting. So if you have a video coming up and you need dancers, or if you have a video coming up and you need models, I'm kind of the go-to for that. I know a lot of beautiful women in the DFW as well as men, because sometimes you need a male counterpart, and I can handle you on that one. But my specialty, I will be sure to put you on my roster, David. Give me your headshot, buddy.
I got you. Done.
But I usually do the choreography for certain things. So if you have a music video coming up, I do the choreography for that. I teach the artists. I recruit the dancers. We put it all together. And then you have a music video, whether you have a show coming up.
Oh, so you do all the recruitment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you legit.
And if you have
One-woman team.
show coming up. Say it again.
One-woman team?
Oh, yeah. My team is strong. Angela, I love you. Isha, we stay ready. Day, Jamie, I mean, we have.
So
solid.
it's not just you. Okay, gotcha.
No, I have, and that's another thing. In order for you to achieve greatness, you have to have a solid team behind you. And I have some of the most solid people. Whether it's my dad, my mother, my sister, or my dancers, Angela, I love y'all. My team, I want you guys
real
to see. My team is solid. And that's why I'm able to do what I can do, because I have people that I can support and that I can trust and say, listen, we got this show coming up. Let's put in this work. We have this video coming up. We've done a 2-day turnaround to where we had to learn the choreography, travel to Tyler, Texas, and be on a stage. And we did it because that's just who we are. That's just what we do.
Wow. So is that what happened this weekend? Because I saw that on your stories.
No.
What was that shoot for?
That shoot was actually, oh man, you didn't have to say that. That shoot was actually one of the songs that I worked on with Jay Paco, Jonas.
Yeah. I just wanted to put it out there because she's not just choreography anymore. All right, ladies and gentlemen. See, you got this exclusive right here.
That was
MentorConnector podcast.
That was literally right.
That's exclusive.
Yeah, so
she's also branching out
that was me
into. She
singing
says
for the
artist.
first time.
Yeah.
You're
so how
awful.
was that for the first time?
It was amazing. It was so weird being in front of a camera, not dancing but singing.
Ooh.
A lot of people don't know that I sing. I don't even know if I sing, but
We know
he said
now.
it sounded good, and I was like, "Listen, let's take it to the studio," and that's what we did. But it was great. It was liberating. It was like being naked, like saying, "This is genuinely all of me. You can take it or you can leave it." And it was a life-changing experience. I loved it. I've never sung. I've only sung for 2 people in my entire life, for real. And that was my professor at ACU, Mr. Cook, who actually stopped my mom in the grocery store and was like, "Did you know that your daughter can sing?" And my mom was like, "I don't think you know who my daughter is. You probably have the wrong person." He was like, "No, your daughter teaches my son dance.
That's awesome.
I know who your daughter is.
See?
I teach her vocally."
That's another
so to
mentor
be able
right
to
there,
put that,
pulling
Mr.
somebody
Cook, I love
you
you for
didn't
that.
realize yet. That's beautiful.
So enough of that, but yes, that's
a lot of great singers. A lot of great singers started as dancers. Just saying.
Oh my gosh.
See,
I'm gonna get you on that
saying
one.
J-Lo shout out. Cardi was another type of dance, but we're not gonna go there. Diddy,
Yes, please.
Okay, you got a lot of take that. You got a lot of dancers out here.
Yeah.
Hop on the mic. I'm just saying, I was the first to call it. All right, I just wanted to be known on the record. I see his career taking off.
Make sure you guys archive this
support
because it's gonna be worth some money one day, on
time,
one
big
capacity
time.
or the other. But
Absolutely.
yes, but you can see on my Instagram page that the videos that I've been in, having to artistic direct sometimes when the photographer or the videographer needed a little bit of assistance, I've kind of come in there and thrown out some concepts to make that thing work. Helping with the artists. A lot of artists don't dance, and I get it. You can do one or the other. You can't do both. But that's kind of one of my favorite parts, is being able to kind of fine-tune those artists, to kind of work with them. And they may not be spitting out some major choreography, but to look good on camera, to look good on the stage is my specialty.
Yeah.
So whether it's artistic direction, artistic development, choreography, casting, that's kind of where I was able to merge the artistry portion of luxury, aesthetics, and artistry into my business to be able to kind of come full circle. To be full circle with it.
That's full circle. That's beautiful. It all comes together.
Yeah.
So masterfully interwoven. Couldn't be anything but.
Yes.
So man, I'm just glad I got that on this interview.
Shame on you, David. I'm going to sign a non-disclosure next time that says these are off topic. You can't talk about these moments right here.
No, you need to let the people know. Watch. You're going to get a call from this interview. It's like, so since you're an artist, did you want to feature on my song? You got any music I can feature on? Yeah, and I just want 10%. That's all I'm asking.
You got it. It's easy.
Easy.
I will sign the check.
So speaking of all the greatness that you're starting to unleash into the world, and all these hidden talents that you're starting to share with people, what other future plans or projects are you working on, Miss Haley?
So I am super excited to actually be working with you, Mr. David Reeves, on
snap.
Play Ball. And so, yes, you. And so a lot of people obviously haven't really heard of what it is, but it's about to be major. Like,
I don't think they're ready.
Major.
They're
So,
not ready.
long story short, of course, I have a beautiful little girl. And she has a pacifier that she loves, but she's now in this teething phase, and I wish I had a pacifier that allowed her to teeth So I basically wanted to create this pacifier, multifaceted, where I could do a teether, a pacifier. I could inject like juice or milk or fruit in it so where she could chew on it all in one. And I was like, listen, I want to invent it. What's the next step? So then I talked to some people and they said, go on Shark Tank. And I was like, okay. So I did my due diligence and I started watching Shark Tank. And no disrespect to the people at Shark Tank Productions and whatnot, but I was so disappointed by the lack of African American representation, and it just
we got a panelist.
It really upset me. I will say, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as an African American, as a woman, that we were so underrepresented on that show. And so I kind of linked up with a couple of people, ran some concepts by my family, reached out to you, David, and I won't tell the people too much because I don't want anybody to steal our idea.
Right.
But I will say, if you are a business owner or having an invention and you would like to receive some funding for that, please email me at playball dallas, PlayBallDallas 2020 at gmail.com. On the flip side, right now, it's PlayBallDallas 2020 at gmail.com. Again, if you're a business owner, have an invention, if you need some funding for those endeavors, email me at PlayBallDallas 2020 at gmail.com. I'm going to switch cameras. If you're an investor or a donor and you would like to donate or support this African American community cause of people in business, please email me at playballDallas2020 at gmail.com. And of course, it's not just for the people of color, but I want to give us a chance because I feel like the paradigm is that either you have to be a doctor or a teacher or an athlete or a rapper, but there's opportunity for the creatives. There's opportunity for the entrepreneurial, the business-minded. And I want to give that opportunity because not everybody can just walk up to a bank and say, hey, I need $10,000 to start my business, or call up their aunt, hey, I need 50 G's to create a shoe line. Like, it doesn't always work that way, especially in our community. And so I want to kind of give back to people that don't necessarily have that alternative. So again, if you are a business owner, if you are an entrepreneur or an inventor and you would like to receive funding
on our show,
or if you're an investor or a donor or a business mogul who would like to breathe back into your community, playballDallas2020 at gmail.com. And we will make that connection because Play Ball is coming soon on a television screen or computer screen near you.
Or both.
Was that a good plug? Was that good?
Or both, and a phone. Absolutely.
And a phone, and a tablet, whatever you got. Was that good?
I'm here for it. And we're not going to give away too much sauce. Just know, you got 2 bombs dropped on you right there. You got a whole music career starting on one hand.
Oh my gosh.
Then TV show hosting out here for Miss Haley and possibly myself. I might be a part of that.
Okay. I sure hope so.
We might be talking in the works on something big. Yeah, I'm just saying. Just be ready, people. That's all we
can do. Just be ready.
All right. Speaking of being ready.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this surprise bonus round question?
Yes.
I'm going to let you slide on the mentor question because we've been answering those throughout. Are there any other mentors that you do want to mention, though, that helped you become the woman that you are today? Whether it's
my father, for sure.
Okay, yes. You mentioned
my
him and your mom.
My godmother, Bernadette Nuttall. My aunt, Aunt Lonnie Jones. She's dropped some bombs. She's a 24/7 mogul. You guys, listen. Y'all want to learn. That woman right there has got. She's got her stuff together. She's next. You need to interview her next because she's great.
Auntie Alana, go ahead and set it up.
My goodness. Camille Thompson. Y'all, I know y'all don't know who Camille is, but you probably do. But as far as dancing, being Untouchables, I love you, Camille. She is also a game changer in all of this. So I thank you for her, too. Coach Cynthia. I mean, there are so many aspects of my life. Lloyd and Miss Chong at Lucky's. I mean, everywhere. I've been touched. I've been blessed. I've been fed into. I've been nurtured by so many people.
Yes.
So it's going to be impossible for you to name them all. And I feel bad for people who are forgotten.
But don't. They know you love. They know you
Guys,
love and
you know I love
appreciate.
you. You know I love you.
And
I
it
feel like I'm
takes,
giving
and
an
that's
award
it. Truly
speech.
takes a village.
I'd like to accept this award on behalf
For
of
the thousands of mentors that
the
poured
thousands
into
of mentors who have touched me personally and professionally. I love you.
all appropriately though.
And right, yes, very appropriate. Praise God. That's not my story.
Yeah, leave that one.
Right. So
Beautiful, beautiful. So the other bonus round question just be, how has, since we're here at Geek Leads Esports Arena, of course, in the studios of Geek Leads Esports, the gaming, professional gaming industry is always at play, at work here. What is or has been the impact of gaming on your life?
wow.
Could be now or growing up.
Been like twofold. Like I mentioned, my brothers, they had two rules. Daniel and Jason had two rules. Don't touch my stuff. Like as far as don't go into my room. You knock before you enter. If I'm not in there, you're not in there. And then the other rule was do not touch my games. Like that was one of those things that you just never did. So growing up, I really didn't get to play video games. It was more like the things that you just did not do. You don't touch their stuff. So that was kind of not my childhood, but as an adult being married, my husband and my son, that's all they do. Whether it's Apex, Fortnite, the racing games.
Shout out Fortnite. I just played Fortnite the first time.
That's all I hear.
For my birthday.
Is them yelling at people across the country about, oh, you killed me or revived me or whatever the case may be. And it's kind of cool because now I kind of want to tap into that and figure out, what are you playing? How do you play? There's a market for it. Like, it's great to play in your house, but what can you do with this? If you're good at it and if you love it, how can we monetize this? How can we make some money off of it?
And there are
I think that's why I love
within.
what they're doing here at Geek Leagues, especially for Danny Martin being from this community, how he had opportunity to go and be something so great somewhere else, but he chose to come back and he chose to be in his community and teach the system, teach them how to capitalize and monetize on that.
And all the different
industry.
careers within it.
In all of the careers within it. So I personally was either told never to touch my Game Boy or mommy come play. Those are my two extremes. But I think it's interesting. And I love on the back end how people are able to connect, how people are able to compete. And I wish I knew more about it and I wish I played more into it because it's a field. It's an industry all on its own.
Absolutely.
It's an industry all on its own.
Creating a whole new type of entrepreneur.
For what he's doing here for our people, for our children, for our youth, creating jobs, creating a future, changing the dynamic of what they know, what they envision for themselves.
Absolutely. And that's especially because of COVID. Post-COVID is gone.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it already, Corona sent everybody into quarantine, so that means now gaming wasn't looked down upon. Video game was actually encouraged. Like, stay inside, play the game. You can still communicate with your friends online or get to meet other people. And then it's not just the gaming aspect of it that's a career path, though professionally Geek Leads definitely helps a lot of people get to that point, but there's so many career paths within the gaming industry, so it's literally changing the game.
That's pun number 2. I see what you did there.
I'm here for puns all day. That's what we do. Shout out. And last but certainly not least, Miss Haley, how can we get in contact with you? How can we follow you? Y'all heard the Play Ball Dallas email 2020.
Yes, all of that.
How do we get in touch with you? If someone wants to reach out to you for help, for an appointment, they want to get booked with you on lashes or makeup or choreography, where do we go? How do we connect with you?
So I am on all handles. I'm on social media. You can follow me at Haley, HALEY .x.lux, LUXESTIART. That's my personal page. You can also go to my business page, which is luxuryaesthetics.artistry. That's LUXURYESTHETICS artistry. Yes, artistry. ARTISTRY. Or you can always email me at playballdallas2020@gmail. And I'm also on Style Seat. So if you ever have any questions about skincare, lashes, makeup, booking appointments, certain types of treatments, go to my Style Seat account. And it's Luxury Aesthetics and Artistry as well. Luxury Aesthetics with an E, ESTHETICS, and Artistry. You can find me on Style Seat, Instagram, Facebook, Haley Carter, HALEYCARTER, or you can always email me. Or you can get in touch with David, and he'll get in touch with me. And then we'll just connect this whole thing together. And I'm also looking for young girls to mentor. So if you're a young girl and you're in this area of I don't know what to do or I don't know what I want to do, and you're interested in skin or hair or lashes or dancing or being a business owner in general, please reach out to me, because I love children. I love youth. I love mentoring. I love young adults who want to figure things out. That's what I'm here for. That's my calling. So reach out to me one way or the other.
Bam. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it.
And on top of that, she's a super mentor. Just look at that. So the boss moves, the baby moves, balancing that. She's taught you a whole lot in this masterclass, all right? And she's, just jewels, dropping jewels. You got some secrets in here to take care of your skin and this acne issues that we've all, or a lot of us have had, as well as so many other things she taught you that you're going to have to rewatch this interview to get the true nuggets. So play it back, all right? Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Haley, for coming on our show today. And look forward to our show together.
Yes,
and
play ball.
Big things with that. Play Ball Dallas. Ladies and gentlemen, look out for it. Coming soon. Hey, if you don't get in touch with Haley, you better have the best skin in the world. Because I'm going to be booking my appointment soon. And now you have no excuses why you shouldn't.
Thank you.
You got the information. And you know how to get me if you didn't get the information. But with you, you will. So no excuses. So take care of yourself, people. Full body is what she can provide for. All right, I'm not even going to sell it no more. She sold it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This has been another episode of the MentorConnector podcast right here on the Geek Lease Esports Masterclass. We thank you again to our special guest, Ms. Haley Carter, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a pleasure. It's an honor, and thank you for coming on our show today. And we love y'all. We'll see you later. Geek Lease Studios in DeSoto, Texas.